Welcome back for part 3 in our series. If you haven't seen part 1 or 2, be sure to check it out on our YouTube page. In addition, join me now as we continue our tour. Well, behind me on the right is the Thomas window. Well, the word doubting is always connected with Thomas. And that's because he was very slow to believe in the teachings of Christ. And he was very easily discouraged. And we know from our Bible lessons that he was not present on that Easter morning. Now, down here, we see building stones and a carpenter's square. Well, Thomas did lots of building while preaching in India. And down here, the spears. Well, we've come to know that that's going to mean the death of a martyr. And that's what the researchers believe happened to Thomas. On the left side is the window dedicated to Matthew. Now, Matthew was not a fisherman, which is pretty rare because we know many of the others were. He was very self-centered, and Jesus had a hard time turning him around. His symbol up here on the left is the winged man. He was the first one to record the teachings of Jesus, and very important to Christianity. Now, if you drop down just right to here, you see 3 objects. Well, here's the story. Those are 3 money bags. Matthew was a tax collector, and in those days, the tax collector was despised by everyone. Everybody hated the tax collector and what they represented. Yet, he was called by Jesus. Jesus calling the despised tax collector to follow him. And that's exactly what Matthew did. The panel on the right here is for James the Lesser. Very little known about him, but they do know that he was a man of strong, fiery character, and maybe, perhaps, they don't know for sure, that he was the brother of Matthew. Take a look. A beehive. Well, what's the deal there? Well, the beehive symbol portrays the Christian church whose workers are concerned with the goodwill of all. And below that is a pastoral staff. We've seen that a couple of other times. The pastoral staff refers to James as the first bishop of Jerusalem. To the left of the James window is Jude. Well, Jude was known by 3 names: Jude, Thaddeus, and Levis. And again, very little known and very little mentioned in the Bible about Jude. The ship symbol, very easily identified. Well, because he was a missionary, thought to be a fisherman. And here, well, there's a mystery here. Whether that's a Fuller's Club or some other device, but it has to do with him being killed, and he was killed apparently at Ararat. And we know that term or place in reference to Noah's Ark. The panels on the right refer to Simon. Now, very little is known in the Bible about Simon other than the fact that he was a zealot. And zealots had a bitter hatred of Romans. This was kind of tough for Simon, but Christ worked hard, and he was able to change his thinking, and so that Simon was even able to accept Matthew. And we know Matthew, from a few panels back, was the money collector, the tax collector. Now, if you drop down, you'll see a representation of a harpooned fish. Well, this symbolizes Simon as the fisher of men. And down below, we have in green, sharp objects. Well, this probably refers to the death of Simon. The specifics are unknown, but undoubtedly it was a violent martyr's death. On the left side is Matthias. Here's a name that may not be real familiar to you. That's because he was not selected as one of the original 12. These disciples decided on a replacement for Judas Iscariot. And Matthias was chosen because he was with Jesus during his life on earth. Now, another candidate for that possible 12th disciple was Paul, but Matthias was won by a simple drawing of lots. Now, on the Matthias side up there, we see a two-sided battle axe. Well, apparently, according to the researchers, that his was a brutal death by beheading. Below that are the stones in the open Bible. Well, this refers to the building of the kingdom of God through Christ. And as an added feature, at the top of each of these disciple windows is the cross. Well, if we look at this one up here, the crosses represent artistic interpretations. And this one here is an ankh. And an ankh is the Egyptian symbol of life. Thanks for watching part 3, where we learned about the remaining disciples. Please plan on joining me for the last installment in this series. You will not be disappointed in what you see. And as always, you can view our gallery of pictures on our website. And join us this Sunday as we live stream our service. You'll find it either on Facebook or YouTube.